got away from our strengths, and that's the reason why those blowouts happen here.
Has it seemed like you've had a different mentality sometimes on the road than at home?
Well, I think on the road, our team is much more focused when you talk about we're all that we have, and we're going against everybody else. And at home at times we necessarily didn't feel like, I guess that we had that confidence from the crowd. But I think that our crowd feeds off what we do. Mm-hmm. So if you have some highlight plays and we get it going, I think the crowd really buys into that. Or we play hard. I think that's all the fans ask for. And again, it's disappointing because sometimes we don't do that as a team. So we're in the playoffs, and we certainly are looking to pick up the pace to another level.
Maybe if you play some audio in the locker room of road crowds, that'll get you angry when you go out on the court.
I think it's more of a mental thing. I think that I think the guys are. I think it's going to be different. It's the playoffs, and I know that the guys are excited to get out there.
Do you think too? You talk about that crowd feeding off of you guys. I mean, do you think too that you guys have come out at some games when there's like nobody here, and that's kind of led, because there's nobody really for you guys to feed off of? I mean, can that work both ways? And maybe a lack of some atmosphere in here has hurt you guys at times?
It does. Mm-hmm. I think that, just in all honesty, I think that some of the guys feel like, okay, well, we've reached a point where we're a good team, mm-hmm. but we're still not getting that support mm-hmm. that we need. And I can understand that's a little frustrating, but I know that there's some loyal Hawk fans out there, and they come out and they support us. And now we're in an opportunity that we can make something happen, mm-hmm. special happen here, and we need them to come out Friday night. That's what we need.
How frustrating was it for you to get in foul trouble and only play 2 minutes in the first half?
It was very frustrating. I went back and looked at the film, and it's one of those things that you hate to come out of the game like that and sit out for a whole half, especially because you're not in a rhythm. So the third quarter comes around and you try to get into the flow of things. But it's one of those things that we learn from that, and hopefully, if we're in this position again, maybe Coach puts me in the second quarter or something like that, and we just play and see what happens.
What do you remember about the crowds in that Boston-Atlanta series? Because that seems to be probably
electric.
Yeah.
I mean, our fans were like, and I played in big college games and things like that, but they were just like a college crowd. Like it was very. It was such a rush when they're in here, and I think that year, I think the Celtics were a little taken back and surprised by that. Mm-hmm. So, Friday, like I said, it's a big game for us.